Hey, I posted this video up a few days ago, but I didn't like the quality of the video and the fact that I kept messing up when I was talking. And this is completely unedited. I want to have my battery was at 93. I don't want to be messing up and doing another redo of the video, but I saw that Charleston White was talking about the Kia Boys, and I actually made a video about it, because if you didn't know, I happened to go to Wisconsin last year and I didn't have a good experience down there. I look at it like Milwaukee is a city completely void of all culture, no kind of real history to the city other than the Milwaukee Bucks. And the food is horrible there, no doubt. And there's always a bar or a liquor store on every corner. But I was there and I had the pleasure of possibly working with some associates or maybe relatives of these Kia Boys. Because in this video, I want to explain to you why a lot of people don't like black people and what you have to watch out for. So let me say this. I watched this documentary about these Kia Boys and I didn't like it because it seemed like the filmmaker was more concerned about his own car, and he blatantly recorded these kids, committing crimes on YouTube. He was not really interested in getting them to stop. I mean, I understand you have a job to report a certain like trend on social media that people want to see. And I looked at his whole channel. He came to Philly and he did like a episode on Kensington. I don't care about that, but it's just though I find it funny he only has concern when his own car is at risk being hit by the Kia Boys. But I want to tell you, I want to explain to you why why people don't like black people and what the Kia Boys do to what they do to contribute to people's dislike of black people. So it's not just black people that they're robbing of their cars. There are it's not just white people, it's black people too. Mostly black people, because I didn't really go in Milwaukee's ghettos like that. I don't have it. This is one thing about me. Whenever I go to a city, I don't have an interest in going to the ghetto. I don't want to go to the hood. I don't want to see what people live like in different regions of the world. That's just boring to me. I lived in Philly my whole life. I don't have an interest in going to Milwaukee's hoods, Atlanta's hoods, Miami's hoods, Newark, New Jersey's hoods, Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn's hoods. I don't want to go there. I don't want to see it. But when I was there, I only went there to see the remains of the Jeffrey Dahmer apartment building. When they demolished the building, I went there. I didn't get out of my car. It looked like a bad area, and it was sad because I talked to some people who lived in that around that neighborhood. When I worked at this restaurant, it was like close. If you're from Milwaukee, you know what I'm talking about. It was like near Martin Luther King Drive when they had that shooting after they lost that game to the Celtics. I worked down there, and I talked to some people, and they said that the police, when Jeffrey Dahmer was killing people in his apartment, he was taking home like some of his like lovers and people he was trying to pick up for like money. Well, for like photos. They were saying that the police knew about it the whole time. They just didn't really care because they were killing, black people. But that wouldn't surprise me. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I talked to some people, and they just said like they were just saying the same thing. She remembered they only talked about when he was killed in jail, because this lady I talked to, she was a little older. She said she remembered the day when they said he was killed in jail. They were like, she first said this guy Anderson, and I was like, is it Jesse Lee Anderson? She was like, yeah, but she remembered because she was a lot older, and you know what else too? What's crazy? You're speaking of that restaurant. This guy I work with, this white dude, I remember he told me his car got stolen. He was from Chicago. His car was stolen, and I just got a feeling maybe the Kid Boys had something to do with that. But anyway, yeah, we when I saw that documentary, it was this lady who went on the news and she said how her car that she named, I forgot what I think she called her name, she named the car Gertrude or something. Gertrude or something. She said that the Kid Boys are responsible, and she didn't want the car back after the condition it was in, and she wouldn't be able to sell it. And let me just tell you this: when people live in cities when they're victims of crimes, and it's a pattern of certain crimes of the perpetrator of the crime is when it's a pattern, they begin to be like, okay, these people, they commit these crimes. Let me stay away from this group. And this is what happens. This is when you get like people moving out of certain areas, and then they form their own little community somewhere like far away, and then they don't want anything that is associated with they don't want anything that is associated with what they were trying to get away from to move in that area. And this is when you get, like the whole videos where people call racists and Karens and Brads and everything. But let me just explain this to you, just to be more concise. When I looked at that Kid Boys documentary, the number one reason why there's a hatred for black people, and I never on this channel said it's because of the color of my skin or my physical features, my traits, has nothing to do with that. It is the culture. The reason why a lot of other races don't really care for black people is what things that Kid Boys do: rob, steal. You work hard for something and and someone just takes it away. It is behavior. It is culture. It's social and economic issues. Robbing people because you can't find a decent job or you have to support kids that you shouldn't have had in the first place. Reasons like that. And when I was in Milwaukee, like I told you, Milwaukee is the most uncultured city I've ever been to. The food is fucking disgusting. But Kid Boys contribute to why people don't like black people at all. This what I have to watch out for though is, see, I tell people in these videos, I don't I am not a I am not the average person in a black community. I'm very distinctive from my interest to my from everything. I'm not the average black person. So I have to be very cautious because I don't have allies. Because deep down, a lot of races have a hatred, and they have that right to have that, but I get screwed over because I don't have like a great like relationship with my own community. So I get screwed over when it comes to jobs, when it comes to housing, things like that. I have to work extra hard to just protect myself. But it doesn't help when you have pieces of shit like these videos I see of these dudes just stealing people's cars and you got to live around people like this. This is why I say the good always suffers from the bad apples. But yeah, I'm making this video is almost going on 10 minutes. The Kid Boys, you guys are the reason why a lot of races of people don't really mess with us.